The movie begins by showing Macarena. She is sentenced to 7 years in prison and immediately transported to jail. True, she didn't say anything to her parents, just made up a story about how she went on vacation. A little later, Macarena is taken away her personal belongings and given prison things. The warden Paloma finds a lot of pills and wonders what Macarena will do when they run out, getting the answer that she expects to be out in 40 days, because she was wrongly accused. But somehow she is taken to a room with the same newcomers so that an officer can explain the basic rules, take away the old clothes of the prisoners, and do a more thorough inspection. All that remains is to take the new arrivals to their cells. The other convicts immediately begin shouting many unfavorable things to Macarena. She gets a cell with an overly ebullient cellmate, Zulema, who is clearly not happy about the addition. Seeing her pressure, Paloma has to take Macarena away and ask the warden Fabio to find her another cell. So cell 225 becomes her home. Her cellmates are Sol, Annabelle, and Yolanda. They greet her in a friendly manner, but the realization of the situation makes Macarena start to cry. Closer to bedtime, Macarena still decides to make her bedding and is even helped by her cellmates. Paloma receives a videotape from her house of some intruders walking freely around her house next to her newborn babies. She goes to the local church where Zulema was waiting for her and makes her demands, namely, help with access to the room with video surveillance. At the same time, Annabelle assures Macarena that she will help her find a lawyer by tomorrow. That night, Macarena starts to panic because of her new surroundings, but Yolanda immediately calms her down and even offers to hold her hand if it will make her feel calmer. They are distracted, however, by Zulema, who seamlessly emerges from her cell to call Yolanda for a smoke break. It's time for rounds. The guards notice an open door, not realizing that a breathless body awaits them behind it. All prisoner cells are immediately locked down. The medics begin to examine the body and conclude that it is an unnatural death, and so Yolanda leaves this world, but none of the cellmates know it. Macarena tells them that Zulema came to them at night and took her somewhere, shocking the duo. Sol immediately asks them to watch what she says, otherwise something bad might happen. A bath day was ahead of them, which you can watch for yourself in the show. All this time, the police are trying to come to a conclusion who is guilty of the night incident, but all they came to is that the elimination occurred by steam at a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius. During breakfast, Macarena tries to ask Fabio where her friend has disappeared to. Maybe she is being punished? Fabio only replies that she is no longer there, startling Macarena. He wonders if she saw something, but before she can say anything, they are distracted by Zulema. After breakfast, they all go to work, during which Sol tells them that in prison, many people wanted to eliminate her friend. Before going to prison, she and her husband had committed an ingenious robbery for 2 million euros. However, they were caught and the fiancé was killed, but the money was not with them. Presumably, they buried them in the neighborhood of Madrid, and most likely on the SIM card, which she hid, are the exact coordinates of the money. That's why Yolanda was eliminated. Suddenly, Macarena finds a package with a small SIM card and hides it once more. It's time to meet with her new lawyer, who has already reviewed the case. He has bad news. The only chance she has to get out of this prison is to post a bail of 1 million euros. She has no other way out. Macarena is instantly speechless and visits Carlos, the local doctor, who, under the pretext of sedating her, gives her anesthesia, from which she loses consciousness. But still, the lustful doctor overcomes his desire because he has a work meeting waiting for him. There discusses the incident, the disclosure of which has made it incredibly difficult to destroy all the records from the CCTV cameras because someone put magnets on them. One of them is probably involved. On her way back to her cell, Macarena notices a duo of prisoners being handed an awl. Annabelle was waiting for her in her cell because she had done her part and Macarena had gotten her lawyer. Now she has to do something in return, like going to the courtyard at 9:10 p.m. There she'll be handed some stuff and needs to sneak it back in. And since the cells close at 9 p.m., this card will help her, but Macarena refuses to do it. Then Annabelle insinuates that she can tell how Macarena said Zulema came at night, and then she will die. The guards also notice the prisoners passing the awl to each other and instantly start checking. But here's the problem. Macarena has their card. The curly-haired woman notices all this and decides to help by diverting the guards' attention. That's enough time to drop the card. But there's no hiding from the camera's view. The director is trying to figure out how the inmates could have gotten the card. And since that's what happened, the guards need to do a full sweep of all the cells tonight. On her evening walk, Macarena tries to figure out how she can get into the yard after 9 p.m. and finds nothing better than to hide in the ball cart, unaware that the inspection is about to begin. But she finds the courier she's looking for, and with an iron rod, she pretends to be locked in a box. Even so, the director orders a search by finding the package. For such a misdemeanor, she will be sent to the punishment cell with Yolanda's tattoo scratched on the wall. Tomorrow, a voice comes from a neighboring cell, and the still inexperienced Macarena tells who the package was for. That was how the director got the confession she needed. One day, the inmates began preparations for the party, but noticing the props in the form of wine Sol immediately turns it down and instantly falls. So the hospital is replenished with a new patient, and the doctor manages to save her from the other side of the world. But it could happen again, because she has a heart problem, and the chance of her finding a donor is practically nil. Today, Macarena meets with her parents, and while her mother is away, her father gives her 500 euros, because he knows very well the power of money in prison. At the end of the meeting, she is sent to dinner where the prisoners spit in her food, but Fabio takes the plate away. Seeing that he is not as angry, Macarena gains strength and tells what happened on the first night. All of this leads Fabio to believe that it was Paloma who erased the CCTV footage, but he asks her not to give herself away, because anyone could have done it. Paloma's just giving herself away for good. She just didn't know where it would lead. A new day arrives. Macarena hands the sewn dress to Dr. Carlos, who receives the ointment as a reward, but it can only be used while standing behind a screen in this office. At the end of the procedure, Macarena wonders why he is acting so strangely. Sol only hints that she is clearly his type. If she wants to improve her stay in this prison, she should play along with him a little. In a burst of emotion, Macarena accidentally blabs that she snitched on Zulema, shocking the duo. Sol compliments that Zulema is the girl of the most wanted Egyptian. No need to mess with fire. Upon meeting Zulema in person, the first thing she does is threaten Macarena, giving her parents' names. This becomes the last straw, and Macarena reveals that she has already told everything. As soon as she leaves, Zulema immediately takes out her hidden cell phone to call her Egyptian boyfriend. Macarena also gets the phone and warns her father that he is in danger. By this time, he's managed to find the man who framed her, and as proof he asks his daughter to call him, thus trapping the man. The father orders to give him 1 million euros in 12 hours, and he should not be deceived because he has nothing to lose. At the same time, the Egyptian arrives at the parking lot and fires a shot. That's where the first 2 episodes end. But if you want a sequel, just let us know in the comments. We'll see you soon. Bye.